not be afraid of the changes. Then it can really be a joy in watching yourself and the people around you evolve and grow, and it can be really wonderful. And even the weird discomforts and anxieties, if you breathe through them, they move through actually pretty quickly.
When she was talking about pain, she's talking about me. So, sorry,
I'm not talking about you.
Throw that back out there. I'm not dating. Just not.
Oh, no. I hope that you get a lot of interesting responses.
Oh, no. I don't even want to get on Facebook right now because I know what it's going to be like.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So what we were talking about, we started the show, and we kind of have digressed a little, kind of, sort of. I mean, a lot of it has to do with beginnings and endings, and this was your show idea, by the way, so I'm going to let you take the reins on it. But, you know, I see where you're coming from, and when we've talked about, I'll let you get to kind of give us a rundown of the beginnings and endings, but you know, I know where you're going with it, and I have to agree. I mean, and I'll fill in more of that later. But so anyway, beginnings and endings.
Yeah. So we're ending a really significant age right now, or we are beginning a significant age. It both tend to happen at the same time. So there's a lot of prophecies around the world about this age. The Hopis, the Tibetans, the Bibles, the Nordic traditions, Ragnarok, they call it. There's a lot of different prophecies. In the South America, they were talking about it. And what has been prophesied is that there is a time in humanity where things are going to be changing so significantly that we will enter a crossroads. And from where we're at right now in time, we don't know what our future is really going to be, because there are two paths that are prophesied. And it's going to be important in all these little radio shows that we're doing. All of the conversations, everybody's personal choices make a conglomeration of conscious awareness that permeates the ethernet, not the internet, but the ethernet of our consciousness. And it changes the frequency, the direction of all of humanity. So all of these wonderful shows, all of these conversations that all of us have about the curiosity about where we're going, what we're doing. And the thing that I really want to encourage people about is not to be afraid of the ending, but to be enthusiastic about the beginning. When a woman is pregnant, she does not, unless she's really having a hard time with her life, most women don't complain about the loss of their freedom or the loss of their previous life. They're enthusiastic and excited about what is coming, about the baby that is being born, making a nest, making plans, making ideas, picking names, and they're thinking forward about what's being created. The way something ends dictates thing begins. So when a woman, I'm going to go with the pregnancy scenario because a lot of people, a lot of the American Native, the First Nation people, the Native Americans, the prophecies that I've read about being born into a new and what it's going through right now are labor pains, and there's all kinds of really bizarre stuff happening in the world, which I'll love to discuss. It's so much fun to watch. They are like labor pains. The ending is so important. It dictates the beginning. And to be honest, they kind of morph together. When a woman is ending her pregnancy, she's birthing a new conscious awareness into the world. She's bringing in a baby. The beginning and the ending are the same thing. So the show hopefully will help all of us gain a focus on the beginning, on the newness, which keeps happening.
You there? I think we lost Lorelai again.
You lost me again?
Nope, there you are.
Oh, good.
So you could hear me, but I couldn't hear you.
So I went. Did you not hear that whole dialogue that I just went through?
No, we got most of it.
Oh, good. Okay.
But she didn't cut out. There's the great thing about internet is it is what it is.
Yeah.
And internet shows are a little bit of a different. Even if you pay high dollar for them, they still get that cut in and out process. Anyway, all these smaller shows, like ours,
Yeah.
that are helping people learn and helping people raise their consciousness.
Yeah.
Do you think that has anything to do with the Schumann resonance that we were talking about earlier? I think it was it early this last week, or a week before? I can't remember now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think so. I think that people are becoming, even I know some people that I would consider to be Christian or Catholic on the Protestant faiths, that are more aware, more consciously aware of how spirit is what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say it without offending anyone. I think that they're understanding that people are more connected than they previously thought, and I think that those changes, those slight tweaks, even going to this current pope, he's completely different than any pope previous. He's more connected to earth. He's more connected to the people, which is important in spirituality, no matter what you believe. And I think that is bringing the consciousness of everyone up, which in turn changes the frequency of the earth. And that's what the Schumann resonance, for those that don't know, is basically, it's the ohm. It's the sound that the earth actually makes, and this is scientifically proven. This is strictly non-spiritual. I mean, it is spiritual to a lot of us that feel it or to participate in it or understand it. But from a scientific standpoint, it is just basically, the tectonic plates and magnets and all of this together creates this, basically vibration. It's at a certain frequency. Well, the frequency has raised, and there's some theory on that as to, non-scientifically, there's some theory as to it from a spiritual standpoint, because people have changed spiritually. They're more in tune and more consciously in tune of the earth and what we're doing to it and what our roles are as guardians of the earth. And I think that has helped and changed, uplifted the frequency of earth. At least I hope. That's kind of my standpoint, and I think you probably agree, but.
Well, I do agree, but I will take it a little bit farther.
That's because she's smarter than I am.
I am 10 years older than you, Jonathan, so I have a little more experience.
Hell of a lot better looking than I am, though.
Oh, I don't know. That beard is pretty handsome. Anyway, the other thing that I think might be causing the wavelength of the planet to increase is the fact that our whole solar system is actually moving through what is referred to as a proton belt. It is this interesting wave or path or just shower of energy that's coming from the center of the galaxy. And I'm not sure exactly when we entered it, but we're in it for, I think, about 10 or 15 more years. We'll have some astrology friends on with us, and they'll be able to really discuss this in much more depth. But this is a very real thing. You can look this up on NASA websites. Now, the interesting thing about this energy is that it's a different frequency than what we have been in so far. And I think that energy is what is shaking things up, not just in this planet, but in the whole solar system. I have read that it's not just the Earth that is getting warmer, but actually all the planets of the solar system are getting warmer. I really believe that human beings are affecting the climate, but I also believe that that's not the only thing that is affecting this change. And I'm not sure if it's the chicken or the egg, Jonathan, if it's... I mean, seriously,
I agree.
I think it might be both. You know, are the human beings, is it our awareness that's changing the Earth, or is it the fact that the Earth is changing? And you know, I don't.
I'm sorry. Here's my thought on that, and I can see where you're going with it. My thought is that, and I've been watching this, and I'm sure you have too, for the last probably 20 plus years. Mm-hmm. There has been a drastic change in consciousness as a whole. And I think that people are falling back to the earth-based faith systems because they're looking for more. I don't think it has anything other than to do with the fact that they're looking for more.
Yeah.
And they weren't getting it in whatever faith system they subscribed to before, so they're in search of. And this has been going on for a long time because literally, I have been on this path since I was 5. Mm-hmm. And it was because my mother was looking for more, and she left the Baptist church, and she went into a whole different system. It still was based around God and Jesus, but it was a little more in depth. More in understanding of other faith systems and how they all connect. And so, yeah, I think that, you're right. I mean, scientifically, there's probably other reasonings, but I think that there's also, I think that it could go hand in hand. You're right. I mean, I think the Earth is raising because we are raising, or we're raising because the Earth is raising.
Okay, I have a whole new paradigm that I want to throw out there.
Uh-oh.
Because this is my perspective on humans. We are not part of the Earth. We are the Earth. We are the Earth.
I get that.
Right? Every single cell of our body was created from the Earth. Everything that you are looking at, this computer, the room that you're in, the air that you're breathing, is the Earth. I think that you're right, but what about our remembering something? But it's more than a connection. It is the fact that we are Earthlings. We are the Earth. And as
Speak for yourself. I'm not an Earthling.
What?
Speak for yourself. I'm not an Earthling.
Well, there's an intersection there's an intersection between your essence, your soul, and your body. And there is a little bit of a difference. But this body that is you, that it's amazing when you think about it, that our essence, our soul, through the help of the Creator, has transformed some of the earth to create a body that we can experience the sensations of this planet, the smells and the tastes and the sounds. It's amazing when we really start to think about it and feel it. And to think that that's not a miracle in itself, I don't know. I don't know what else is.
I agree. I absolutely agree with you 100%. And I always like to go to science because there's so much great scientific evidence out there right now, and they're really starting to hit on what a lot of us have believed for thousands of years, and how connected we really are to the Earth. And they've proven that our actual DNA is throughout all of nature, throughout all of the Earth. And I always find that interesting because we do kind of think of ourselves as